Thank you, Cleveland.
Thank you, Cleveland.
No need for
Hey, calm down.
Coming out.
I hope soon, just like rehearsal.
Thank you. Good night. What should we play now? Sure.
Pretend it's their entrance music.
Pretend it's the entrance music.
Maybe they'll show up.
Okay. Let's play your tune. The Daybreak.
Too low energy.
Too low energy. Too low energy. You guys want high energy?
Yeah, they're in the mood.
You know, the old joke is, do you guys want fast, slow, or half-fast? Fast. Sorry. Just showing my age, sorry.
Sure. Yeah, they're getting close.
Let's just do the reggae thing.
Testing. We're on the air. Tell me when, boys. We're going to start the podcast. You have to tell me when. Hi, everybody. I just got back from Wyoming. I live in Wyoming now. Came back for this show. This is the nicest room we've ever been in.
I'll say.
It's the first, too.
Why are you sitting so far away from me?
Tell me when to start. Let's go. Here's
Where's Mike? Weber.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores.
Mike's here. Fratelloni's here.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores.
Where's the audience?
Oh my
I hear
God!
'em.
I got the wrong sheet here.
Oh,
I think this is the 1,000th
I got it.
podcast.
I got it.
Hang on.
Are you sure?
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores. None of this is a bit.
I'll say.
where's he going? What the hell? Just start the show, dummy.
I don't know if we're rolling. Rook, are we rolling?
Where's Weber?
No idea.
Oh, there's Pat. Pat's right there.
Reavers. Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores.
Pat, are we ready to go? Oh, you need 5 minutes? Joe, proceed.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1000.
Yeah!
January 17th, 2023. 44 degrees was the record high on this day in 1894. It was as chilly as 26 below. I remember this in 1967. It's really show 1003, but for you people, it's show 1000.
What do you mean, you people?
The audience, the audience.
From the mayor's office, above the boathouse, on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic, with Rookie on production, Chris Reavers, director of social media, John Haidt in the newsroom, and occasionally Kenny from the Krabby Coffee Shop. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Thank you very much. That's John Haidt, Dylan Haidt, and Stephen C. Anderson on the music. Stephen C. on the piano, and John and Dylan Haidt on guitars. I told you that I just flew in from Wyoming. I've moved to Wyoming.
Your arm's tired.
And I live on a dirt road. I got a little place there. And I noticed something about flying today that reinforces my wish that I never have to fly.
What's that?
There's a new deal now where I was reading this today at the airport in Wyoming. And if you have a life-threatening food allergy,
Okay.
you can tell the gate agent, and then you get on early with your wipies to wipe the tray and the chair down and the armrests, because that's the latest scam for how people will get on early.
I'm allergic to vegetables.
Yeah, you can get on the passengers with potentially life-threatening allergies say that being able to notify flight crews of their medical condition and pre-board flights to clean their seats is crucial. Otherwise, I don't know what happens to them. Something must happen to them. So they'll be barging ahead of all the other people. They did that today in Wyoming. I was very put off my game by that. But it's right here. Allergy spur call for early boarding.
Even in front of us first-class passengers?
Absolutely.
Because I don't fly steerage.
I know you don't, but you have to have the wipies with you, and you go in and then you clean the seat.
So if
How
I'm
did we
allergic...
get this far?
The distinction is they'll still serve peanuts. They'll still serve M&M peanuts. They'll still serve. A lot of those people that go down and want to do that want you to say, we will not serve peanuts or peanut anything allergy-wise on the aircraft.
How about macadamia?
Nope. They'll still serve them, but that's their concession, is that they get to go
You're
and clean.
here this evening to defend the airline industry.
Yes, by far.
I got an email from Rob.
So far to reserve, hopefully, my spot on the Metropolitan Airports Commission as commissioner someday, so I can live on Marco Winery.
When are you getting your wings?
We have
Pretty
another
soon.
guy contesting the number of shows, but I'm not going to.
good.
If he's here, let's punch him.
I'm not going to go into it.
If he's here, let's punch him.
No, let me see that. What do you mean you're not going
I
into
don't
it?
want to go into that. It's too difficult.
You know, you weren't kidding. The show is laid out exactly the same way it would be if we're in studio.
Do you guys recall the other day that AOC, we had a little audio of AOC
Gas stoves.
talking about gas stoves, and she was really frightened that gas stoves would be the end of us. And you remember that she said science evolves? Remember that?
Yes.
You guys didn't catch it, but Downing did. He said, I could have sworn science was settled, at least when conservatives question liberals' belief systems. So how does that work? She said science was settled. When it comes to the climate, they say it's settled. She's saying now it evolves. See, it evolves. See.
It's settled that evolves. I think this guy who is calling you to task on the email made a good point in his opening paragraph. I think you're a brilliant thinker, and I've been a loyal listener for many years. Just do me one favor. Stay away from anything involving arithmetic.
I should. I should.
When
We've made that a rule on the show. Isn't it weird when you can't see people?
When it comes to show numbers, I honest to God find myself wanting to bang my head on the steering wheel as I drive down the road. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. Signed, management.
This is the equivalent of, it's not weird that you can't see people, it's the equivalent of you have one of the biggest, and this goes against your style, major studio sit-ins, and this is a record of Garage Logic. He doesn't let people sit in and watch the podcast in studio.
Can't do it.
But basically, no pressure. You've got about 800 people sitting
Matthew.
here that are watching you do the podcast. You should feel honored.
Matthew, he's so insane, he doesn't let me sit in during the podcast.
Okay, time out. What did Kenny refer to me as?
I got
What
an
did Kenny
item
refer to me as?
Dummy.
What does that mean?
What's it
Yep.
mean?
If you say rookie or dummy, it's an insult. If you say Matthew, it's something caring, and that's what this crowd
You
learned
told them?
prior to.
You're such a son of a bitch.
Right
What does
back
it
at
mean
you.
when I call you an SOB?
Well, we can't go there right now.
All right, thanks, dummy.
You ready?
You.
Mr. Mayor, while tuned in to KARE 11's Monday night 6 p.m. newscast, I was entertained by the City of St. Paul's Public Works Director, Sean Kershaw. Remember, he's come up on the show, right? Trying to explain why the streets are so poorly plowed that I can't get to Cecil's to take advantage of a gift certificate I received for Christmas. What I heard required me to pause and ask for some serenity. According to Mr. Kershaw, the recent snowfall was the 4th heaviest by weight in January. Is there a guy with a scale going around to measure the... causing the snafu in its removal. Considering
Yes, it's me. Hey, I'm on the snow management team. I got this scale. I need to know where the snow department is.
Considering you are in charge of keeping us all informed of the daily high and low temperatures in Gumption County, I was wondering if you would be willing to track down the dude weighing the snowfall and sound the alarm for all garage logicians when we are under imminent threat of yet catastrophic heavy snow. I'd like to know ahead of time so I can make adequate preparations. We live in dangerous times. Chris Johnson sent that. Who is weighing snow? And that wasn't a particularly heavy snowfall. It was advertised as being a wet, heavy snowfall, but it proved not to be.
Well, depending on your size, it's tough to move. You're a big guy. You can't. You get right on the scale.
I asked Pat if he was coming tonight, and he said, I'm busy.
I am putting together a 1,000-piece puzzle with the DA of Darth Maul.
And did you guys hear about the bet that a guy made in the Jacksonville?
Yes.
Who'd they play?
Jacksonville beat L.A.
LA,
The Chargers. Yeah.
I still call them the San
Me
Diego
too.
Chargers.
Me too.
This is from Timbuktu. You can now make sports bets even while the game is in progress. Were you aware of that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And the odds are constantly changing. A DraftKings sportsbook bettor thought he had a sure thing when he bet on the Los Angeles Chargers late in the second half in Saturday's playoff game. The Chargers were leading Jacksonville 27-0 at that time. According to the payoff odds were terrible. The bettor had to wage $1.4 million to win $11,200.
Oofta.
But the Jaguars stormed back behind 4 touchdown passes from Trevor Lawrence and dealt the Chargers the 31-30 defeat in the 3rd largest comeback in NFL playoff history. That chump lost $1.4 million. He was even more depressed than the average Vikings fan. See how that works?
You know what's
hilarious.
you know what's even worse is when you have lost that 1.4 million.
What's that?
You're such a super fan that when you go to the bathroom and you see that you have to wash off the Jaguar colors off your face,
Chargers.
and it's just
Chargers, yeah.
off your face, and it's really a low point in
That's
your life.
what
You already
just
lost
happened.
1.4 million, but you still got to get rid of this crap on your face.
Just got ejected from game
Super fan.
100.
He had that. Remember, he had the
Do
seat.
you have, I think the gang would love, even though they might have heard it yesterday.
Okay.
Do you have our president singing happy birthday
Oh,
to,
you know what?
to Martin Luther King's?
Don't
you don't
tell
have
me
it,
you
do you?
don't have it.
I have it on my desktop.
Of
at the
course you
I do.
studio.
Okay.
But hold on, I might be able to find it.
Well, you let me know when you do.
Has anybody, by show of dark hands that I cannot see, has anybody not heard that? Okay, a couple of
Not
hands
you.
so we can benefit.
We could-
We could recreate it.
Were you on your postal route? Is that what it was over there, sir?
May I ask a question? Rook, who was the fill-in show host for Joe years ago? You and I were sitting in the other room, clearly not paying attention to anything that host was saying. And remember, he ripped through 28 topics in about 6 minutes.
That was most of the replacement hosts.
Okay, because I think he's about to break that record.
No, I'm not. I
You got
a lot of
anything left
stuff.
here? The pile's thinning out, bro. It's
And I got
what you're going to have to do.
I got a flight back to Wyoming.
Oh,
tonight.
that's true. I forgot about that.
Okay, I forgot about that. What Joe does to save paper, like he thinks he's saving the world for crying out loud, is he'll take used paper and put it back into the computer printer. So it prints out on the other side.
I'm a crunchy conservative.
So
all
when he
right?
runs out of material on the left side here, he's going to have to flip it over and just give you random crap stories that he's thrown away 3 days ago.
See, that's a list of prizes you're going to get tonight. There's the backside of that. It's a
President
break
Biden is
Somebody's birthday. Sing happy birthday. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you.
Yikes. I think he said Valdich, and her name was Andrea, right?
Yeah. Valdich.
Valdich.
he's becoming better than anything President Bush ever said. Remember when President Bush was in office, I loved him, but I was always just, no, don't do it. Don't stop. Just stop while you're ahead.
Oh, you can do it. We cheered him on.
Well, I know, and now this guy is replacing him, but it's less funny.
Any GLers in the audience who want to run for political office, say something. I can't see you. Just say something.
I got two.
Jimmy Francis is here.
That's the problem.
Jimmy Francis is here, huh? Mayor of
That's the
South
problem.
Yeah.
Joe, the more I listen and watch what's going on in the political world, the more I think me or I or other more qualified GLers should at least run for city council or mayor. I have never wanted a job in politics, but it's become a train wreck. I'm sure there are other GLers who are starting to think the same, but may not know what they're getting into. I have a lot of questions, as I'm sure others do too. Can I still run my business and maintain a family life while serving? That's a great question. You should be able to, and that would be revolutionary to these full-timers who would be shocked at such a thing. But if you're supposed to be a citizen legislator in this state. You're supposed to go back to the farm or the dental office or whatever. Yes, you in the back.
I know when I moved to Carver,
Yeah.
our mayor owned the coffee shop, the big coffee shop that was in Chaska. So would that?
Yeah, that's Carver. That's nothing.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
What I think is you do just what I did. And I remember running for mayor of Brooklyn Park
I got
after
another.
Bob Stromberg with Shrubgate. That made me run. Yeah, he was a city council guy that had the city guys remove some shrubbery from his property that he
Governor-
didn't pay.
Governor, can I finish this?
Yeah, but I went, remember, I only served one term, and then I went back to private life.
Yeah.
Private life after Mr. Ass.
Yeah.
You remember
I
that?
was at that match.
You remember that, the WWF?
I went just to be able to write Mr.
You ain't never
Ass.
been in the ring, have you?
No.
You know?
The squared circle.
Mr.
what
Governor,
now?
I
Can
know.
I finish this email?
Do what now? I don't know.
You know what you're seeing, and the reason I wanted to do the podcast is that this is what I deal with. This is what and you all think it's planned, and it's a bit. It's not a bit.
I'd like you to know this is what I have to deal with, day in, day out. You know, it's problematic.
This is
And when you do the governor of Jesse Ventura, you say problematic. You want to do a lot of P's and B's because you're popping them. This man is problematic. That's how you do Governor Jesse Ventura.
I know you don't listen to the show.
Back to you, fake mayor. That's right. Hey, one more thing. You know, hey, this is like a serious call I get from the governor. Hey, yeah, Rook, one more thing. I don't listen to the show, but yesterday Joe was talking about how the Republicans, the Republicans, and the Democrats are fighting each other.
You know what I'd like to know now, but you don't have the balls to answer it?
I don't know.
What do you think of your friend Putin now? Huh?
He was no friend of mine. But
you claimed he was.
The check cleared, baby. The check cleared.
To continue the email from Matt, do we need to call a meeting among GLers to make sure we all go about this the right way and don't end up more disgusted? I believe it is in the best interest of everyone's kids and grandkids that we do something. Thank you, Matt. I couldn't agree more, but I've told you I've made it a passion of mine to go around to the between 40 and 50-year-olds in St. Paul and say,
creepy.
I would love you to run. Have you ever thought about it? And one of my favorite candidates said, "There's the problem of the '90s."
Oh yeah.
You're really good at telling people how to live their lives, but yet you don't have any.
This has nothing to do with telling people how to lead their lives.
You have no intention of running yourself, and that's what we'd all like to see.
The 60s. The 60s. The 60s.
Well,
I don't think that's an excuse anymore.
See, you're forcing me to get very serious now, and unfortunately very dark.
Uh-oh.
All right.
If
we don't do something about this, this country is over. This country is over. If we don't regain patriotism, if the failed academy doesn't get wiped out and start over, it'll take 20 years to bring this country back to what it should be. 20, maybe 30 years. But that's how long it will take.
Wouldn't it be easier to just start in the failed academy? That's where all of this started. Why don't we start infiltrating the failed academy before we move into the Capitol in the White House?
By the way,
Never mind.
Mm-hmm. You're getting very dark.
The Hamlin professor who got canned because she showed a picture of Allah, whoever she showed the picture of, Muhammad. And the woman that remained in class was offended. You know what I learned? That was an online class.
Yeah. No, that was clear in the paper.
I didn't know
catch
that. I didn't know that.
That was clear.
Yeah,
It was an online class. She's presumably at home.
Do you read the paper?
I only read the head.
Chris didn't read that far.
I didn't
Could
know
have
that
gone
either.
out in her own hall.
That's why I proposed she was preoccupied doing other things and not paying attention to the fact that the student or
I
the
didn't
teacher.
catch that it was online.
Yeah.
Based upon your earlier thoughts, may I ask a question?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you said it'll take 20 years.
20 or 30.
What number podcast would that be?
Yeah, I want to know.
Let's see, because we're at 1,000. It took us about 4.5.
Yeah.
A little over 4.
Carry the
so
one.
carry
We're
the
probably
one.
up to 3,600.
Something like that.
The Public Works Director of St. Paul actually thinks that people will buy the fact that somebody is weighing snow. It was the fourth heaviest snowfall in January since the beginning of time. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
Well, but wouldn't it always?
I'm going to finish that dark. I'm going to be done with that dark thought.
Seriously though, wouldn't it always weigh the same? Why?
No, some snow's got more water content, son.
Okay.
Did you ever shovel, Rook?
What's the
shovel?
difference between
Well, yeah,
red
but I'm
and
saying
blue
if you have it's water and ice.
No. Sometimes snow is very fluffy.
You said Matt.
Rook.
I think Kenny's hitting on me tonight. Kenny's hitting on me tonight.
Rook, what weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead?
I was going to say bricks.
What weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead?
What kind of bird?
What did I tell you people in the green room? Hey, we actually have a green room.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the red M&Ms
Okay,
were taken out.
There's
of the
no
bowl.
booze in the green room, by the way.
Kenny thoroughly checked to make sure that place was
Tell
clean.
the crowd tell the crowd
It's dry in
what
there.
you told me to do when we were all in the green room.
I don't remember.
Go.
Oh, I told you to pay attention.
Well, okay, after you told me to pay attention, go find bleeping Rookie.
Oh yeah, he was out here working the room.
And what did I say? I said, I'll bet you anything he's on stage with a microphone. And guess what we found?
Were you disappointed?
Hell no!
Okay, thank you.
I wasn't disappointed.
Yes, and it was told to me that it was by a superior that I love, that it was very self-indulgent, and I don't deny that. Yes, of course it was. It's all about me. I don't deny that. I said yes, of course it was.
What does Kenny call you? The best professional mooch he's ever met.
Yes, 100%.
How did dinner go at 30 Bales?
Oh,
Wow, good stuff, huh?
They've got the good food. Or as we say, that must have been a good supper. That's what we say in Wyoming. It's supper.
Consider myself a deviled eggs connoisseur,
I'm not touching those things.
and I've never had deviled eggs like that were thrown in the fryer.
Did you pay for it?
Not a dime. No, those were absolutely fantastic.
I had like 19 of those
Yes,
things.
that's the only thing I had tonight. It was
You
delicious.
guys later, you're going to be you're going to be in for something here. We have Gopher hockey tickets, Wild hockey tickets, Twins tickets, Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores gift certificates.
Are we going to make him work for it?
A 30 Bales gift certificate, 2 of them, and a couple of slush busters.
we are drawing for those, by the way.
Yeah,
We are drawing for
that'll
those.
be
It's
that'll
on
be
your
later.
notes.
And as is our wont when we go out live, we have wonderful music. We have John Haidt and his son Dylan. There's an argument in the family about who's the better guitar player.
Ah, there's not. He is.
He is, okay. And we have Stephen C. Anderson, the finest pianist in the United States.
Hey, can I interrupt you, Joe, for a minute?
Yes.
You guys have probably heard the story how Kenny stood beside Mike Fratelloni, didn't recognize him for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and was finally recognized him. Tonight we're over at 30 Bales. Kenny's talking to Stephen C. Anderson.
Yeah.
I'm behind Kenny. Kenny turns around, looks at me, and goes, "Hey, when's Stephen C. going to get here?"
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. I recognized Angie and Stacy, though. I always know them.
And he just kind of laughed and did this for a few minutes.
He didn't recognize Stephen C. without the tux.
Is the lake
That's what it was.
detective in the house?
Is he here?
Well, right now, wait.
He's right there.
There's Steve.
He's got his hat on?
Yep.
All right.
Full guard.
All right. Right now, boys, would you play some music for us and take us into a short break? And when we come back, maybe we could have a winter update from the lake detective. All right. Can you get his theme?
That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Mike Weber, where are you? Can you come here for
Come
a
on
second?
up, LD. I'm looking over there as though I know where he is. I
Right.
have no idea. This is the Garage Logic John Haidt News Band. We have John Haidt News tonight as well. All right. Take it away, boys.
No, hold on. What do I do? Oh, yeah. And I got to do links. Then I got to do lake detective.
I should probably put these on so I know when Joe wants to talk.
Is this it?
I'll see him.
Isn't this a nice room, you guys?
That's not it. How come it didn't save? Mike, what am I doing wrong?
Some people go by there and there's great big bubbles.
No, that's
You guys can play anytime you want. Forget about him. There we go. That's more like it. Now we're going to be coming back. Well, we got here in a laundry truck and then came through the back, just like a big act. Yeah, laundry truck. Rock band used to have to hide themselves. All right, boys, thank you. Thanks, you boys. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lake Detectives, never been stumped. Steve McComas, Blue Water Science. Hello, LD.
Hey, good afternoon. Good evening.
Nine-time amateur boxing champion,
Here, here.
ladies and gentlemen. But Mrs. Lake Detective doesn't let you fight anymore.
Nope, she said I better stop getting those knocks to the old coconut.
That's
so.
right. And you didn't bring your gun. You checked that with local
Checked that.
authorities.
That's what-
Local authorities. There's a bottle in the office back on Snelling.
Fact,
Or
there's
right
one
there.
right
Yeah,
there.
all right. Winter report, LD. How are we doing?
Well, you know, we got that heavy snow.
He shoots and he scores.
It's gonna be, yeah. She's weighing the snow right now. You know, whoops. If you do that,
Is the
though,
long-legged blonde with you tonight?
she's not. No,
Okay.
she has the evening off. She'll be
Wonderful.
back in early tomorrow, though.
Wonderful.
Guarding that
well,
door.
she keeps the books.
She keeps the books. She
Right.
also watches the door.
That's right.
And
you're in the back with your feet up staring at milfoil.
that's right. She's screening for
Who?
me.
Milfoil.
Oh,
Milfoil.
.com.
That's
It's one word.
how long can 1,000 shows is enough, you guys. It really is.
We'll see you later.
So see you later. I got to go back to Wyoming. What about the winter report, Mr.
Holy
Joke
cow.
a minute?
All right. Here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. We do have some early snow.
Yes.
And that is going to now darken the field. The late field in the lakes is now a little bit dank and dim because of the snow cover blocking the sunlight.
Right.
So there'll be one fish that has an advantage. And
Walleye.
That's the walleye.
Thank you.
Because they are low light specialists, and they will have their way with a lot of those prey fish. And so, good news for the walleye, not so good news for the bluegills.
No, because
Because
they don't do well in the
They're not going to be able to see the walleye. Walleye will come up, boom.
in the water.
So will the walleye taste like crayfish this year?
Walleye always tastes good. You know what, though? If you cook it right, it tastes like chicken.
Did you know that?
Are you surprised, LD? Are you surprised at the amounts of rain that California is getting?
Somewhat surprised. It's just, that's a cycle.
There, thank you.
We're going to go wet, we're going to go dry. We're going to go wet, we're going to go dry.
Right.
It all kind of evens out.
It's atmospheric rivers, isn't it?
That's right.
That's
Good
right.
point. The old
That's right.
jet streams.
That's it.
Calcutta.
And now the reservoirs are full. It's a tremendous inconvenience, but people are living where the rain never bothered people 100 years ago.
California's a desert.
That's right.
I mean, the Imperial Valley, we've brought the water in there. Otherwise, you don't bring the water in, then you're going back to a desert. So
I'm now reading about just outside Scottsdale, people are thirsting for water. The water's been shut off, and they have to hire private concerns to bring the water in a tanker.
I know. I mean, we're lucky here. We're water rich. Water is going to be the new oil probably down the road. Atlanta had a 90-day supply of water, and if they wouldn't have got rain back about 10 years ago, they were going to be high and dry.
Well, do you think the day is coming, LD, when Lake Superior will be tapped and big pipelines will be running out west? I hope that doesn't happen.
Boy, I can't see it in the near future, but there's a lot of water. up there.
There's a southern suburb that's actually talking about selling water to desert communities.
Yes.
A southern suburb of the metro area?
It's where all the Germans and Polish people live. What's that?
New Prague.
Yeah, New Prague. Isn't it New
Well,
Prague?
somebody put a stop to it.
I think they're actually trying.
They're going to grab it from the Prairie du Chien aquifer.
And they're worried about that aquifer going dry.
You know what? There's a lot. I'd get it from someplace else if you could.
Like where? Not
Walmart?
Could
Maybe.
you actually do it from the river, or do you have to get it from underground?
Well, in that neck of the woods, the Minnesota River and the Mississippi River are not an option. So they're going to pump groundwater bottle it, and then take it on down.
Might I recommend Hofferman water? You can find them online at hoffermanwater.com.
I agree.
LD, do you have a winter project,
You're
or
welcome,
is this
Jim.
the slow season?
Right now, we're looking over all our files. We have 150 files to look at, and there's always something out there that's kind of lurking that's suspicious, and now we're tracking it down, and I think it's going to have to do with blue-green algae.
Really?
Yep. Keep in touch because we might have it. We're on the verge of a breakthrough.
LD, back to our lakes right now. Does plowing snow help with the oxygen content or with the sunlight through the ice?
Yes, it does.
Is that advisable? I've seen people do this where they plow out, like, say, looks like a football field.
Like a rink.
What's even more efficient is do it in strips rather than doing one big wide area.
Okay.
And that was done back in the 50s a lot when we didn't have a lot of aeration, because what happens is snow is black sunlight, photosynthesis decreases, and the algae is not producing oxygen.
Yeah.
So then you can lose oxygen in a lake. Now, in a marginal lake, snow plowing might help.
Right.
By marginal, meaning just barely lacking oxygen.
Sure.
But in a lake that's really far gone, snow plowing ain't going to help. That lake is going. The fish are going to suffocate. You'll have a winter kill.
Yeah.
Restock them next year. But in a lake that's just right on the edge, snow plowing will clear up. Will take off the snow. Sunlight will penetrate. The algae will be cooking again and putting out oxygen.
So wait, you're not talking about people plowing out rinks. You're talking about people plowing out on lakes to benefit their growth or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, the old man would get somebody from the gas station to come down with a Jeep with a plow on it, and this guy would hump over the yard and get out on the ice, and we had a great big rink, so we were doing our part.
That's right. Probably hooky
you have-
bobbing on the back of that.
Yeah.
Do you have hot
Jeep, too.
chocolate and
No, we didn't.
wieners?
Kenny. No.
You know, a little side note though, when I'm out on a lake doing a survey for plants come after ice out, I can tell where the hockey rinks have been on
bet.
that lake.
I bet.
Oh,
Because the light coming down, it affects the curly leaf pondweed, and that's right in the shape of a hockey rink, is because the light has come through because they took the snow off.
Learn more here by accident than elsewhere by design.
Oh, curly leaf pondweed.
Along those lines, what is if you're hopping in a pond or a lake or whatever, what's the coldest recorded temperature you've slipped into the suit with and gone down under the water?
Did you go in the winter?
Oh yeah. Hey,
is
if there's,
wrong with
you know,
you?
when you guys,
You're shit-faced when you do that, right?
No,
Nobody's been hit in the head.
you
a
just
lot.
have to pee in the suit. You have to pee in the suit.
well, here's a little tidbit. The water, guess what? Never gets colder than 32 degrees.
That's
Okay.
true.
That's right. It freezes.
So I got to protect myself to 32 degrees because
Ruck, you should have been able to answer that.
the air temperature might be colder, but once you get in the water, you can actually warm up sometimes.
Pee in your suit.
No, just jump in
He
that
hasn't
water.
denied it once yet.
Or swim real fast.
Okay.
Now, when you're ice diving, one thing I have learned, always know where that opening is.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you go under, you tell me you have a string. You've got something.
Oh yeah,
where
you're
A string.
tethered
Yeah, he's
up,
got a
and-
string.
and you have signal.
yarn. Got some yarn, some red yarn from Ma's kettles.
One pole is
There's a
you're
bobber
okay.
up there.
3 poles, get me out of here.
Joanne
God.
Fabrics, he's picturing.
That would be so claustrophobic. I would not be able to do that.
LD, thank you. I'm
You're
glad
welcome.
you're here on our 1,000th.
Con-
You've been a
and
big part of the show all these years.
Congratulations to you, and I appreciate it too. Thank you very much.
Marjorie Johnson and LD, always the first day of the state fair,
Thank you, Steve.
which this year is going to cost a fortune to get into. But that's a different story for a different time, isn't it, Kenny?
I thought I asked a really good question
I think you
there,
did.
Joe. What
I
do you
think you
think?
did. And I
Yeah.
was pleased to learn that where the hockey rinks are, you can tell where the Curly Pond thing is.
Speaking of hockey rinks, how about your school getting their new arena?
Yeah, man. Lee Anderson.
What's that gonna cost you?
Lee Anderson contributed $75 million to St. Thomas to put a new hockey and basketball arena on the south end of the campus. Why didn't they just think of that a year ago?
What'd you throw in?
Yeah, what's that gonna
Not
run
a
you?
nickel. They're a failed academy. Remember they disinvited the conservative speaker? The hell with them.
Yeah.
They're not as bad as Hamlin, which used to be a school. St. Thomas is still a school, but not.
Will
They
you
didn't.
do me a favor, me and Rook a favor?
Scratch out
And,
one
and
off.
enlighten us. There was a time, I think Rook, help me out here. Joe had a bunch of articles that he had written, and he had
I
everything.
would say,
he had everything compiled.
collection
Collection
library
of stuff. Yeah, and he had thought, well,
archives.
I'm a famous alum. I'll bring this over to the St. Thomas
Father,
Library.
The ghost of Father Whalen will accept us with open arms.
Absolutely.
I brought over about 10,000 columns
Yep.
that somebody at the Star Tribune was kind enough to give me.
Yeah.
And I had an appointment with the librarian, and she picked up one of them, went like this, and said, that stuff falls apart. We don't want them.
Thanks for stopping
Made you feel
by.
proud, huh?
Thanks
Made
for,
you feel proud.
thanks for your time.
Who are you again, by the way?
Thanks for your time. Can't thank you enough for stopping by with 10,000
Love the
worthless
effort.
columns.
Picture him. He's got the bug out box, as Kenny likes to call it, full of stuff. What did he do?
No, you know what I had?
Head down.
No, I had the...
I see a ledger.
No, I had the, what do you call those loaders on wheels? And I had trouble
A dolly?
controlling it. No, it was 4 wheels. And it was spinning around and stuff was
Like
falling
a coat
off.
rack at a hotel?
Yeah, yeah. And shit was falling off it. And when I finally got to the librarian, she just, this stuff doesn't last. We don't want this.
Why weren't you stopped by the CP? The CP would have been a realist saying, oh, Joe, nobody wants to read that shit.
Joe said this is my life's work. I don't understand.
All I want is this ashtray. And this
Did you envision them mounting them and framing them? And
he
putting
saw
them
no.
in
He
the
saw
library?
this. He saw this. He saw.
Well, you know, people get their, they get a little space at their school, and
Yeah.
I thought, what the hell? I don't
Here I
want
am.
anything. I'll just give them to you.
Right. No cost to you.
Oh, you could have them.
Hey, sort it all out for me. Sort it all out. Put it up.
They
what
were
you
all
want.
in order.
They'd probably be happier if you brought in them a fart sound effect.
Yeah, we got those. Did anyone see the new MLK statue in New Jersey?
I'll say.
Oofda.
I thought it was Boston.
That's
I'm
rated
sorry.
R.
I'm sorry, Boston.
You read the newspaper?
It's 22 feet tall. It's a bronze statue. It's called the Embrace.
I'll say.
Right? It's sculpted by. Now, I just behave a minute. It's sculpted by conceptual artist Hank Willis Thompson.
Yeah.
Thomas. It was unveiled last Friday in Boston Common. The monument. What?
Well, he's just losing it. He's got no self-control.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
The monument depicts 4 intertwined arms.
Oh, at least 2 of them are legs.
It was this is very serious now.
Get me right to the punchline.
It was inspired by a famous photograph of King and his wife embracing when he learned he had won the Nobel Prize in 1964. They gave each other a very nice hug. But unfortunately, we have social media in this country now, right? And the users began to react immediately to the images of the statue from other angles.
I think Ricey tweeted, she had rather large arms.
And apparently, if you view it from other angles, which I have not, it appears to show something perhaps suggestive.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
You remember those days, Such? I don't.
And we have this in our yard. We have a version of this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've taken it to Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Another angle of the statue. Boy, there's a lot of angles on this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Another angle of the statue makes it appear as if it is depicting some activity in the swimsuit area.
That's yeah.
Critics of the statue, which I would be one, say that not including the couple's heads in the statue made it open to interpretation.
Right.
I think that's absolutely accurate.
Right.
That it's open to the deeper story here.
Good.
Is that we've What we've lost, apparently, is the capacity to create public beauty. Do you remember the first statue of Martin Luther King? And I remember thinking it looked like he was Chinese. Remember that one?
I don't recall that one.
I don't mean any offense whatsoever to our Chinese brothers and sisters, but Martin Luther King was not Chinese.
It's your bobblehead theory.
It's the bubble. Let's
Yeah.
do a statue and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't look like MLK.
No.
It looked like Charlie Chan.
More like the. This one looks more like the Num Num Switch.
This, you know what this statue, guys, reminded me of? Remember our buddy Orville, who is now passed?
Yes.
Matthew, how fun would it be to show this picture of this statue to Orville? And you know what he'd say?
Big O would have a field day.
Oh, hell no.
May I tell you something? Seneca Scott, Coretta's cousin, Coretta Scott King, she told the New York Post by phone that the mainstream media was reporting on it like it was something beautiful because they were told they had to say that. But when it came out, a little boy pointed and said, "That's a unit."
Yeah.
Very
And-
advanced child.
and
Very
every-
advanced
Now,
child,
this is-
unfortunately.
Now, this is not me with this quote. This is Seneca Scott, Coretta's cousin,
Okay.
who said it looks like a big old dong, man.
Oh, right for the rafters.
Seneca Scott said that.
Not you.
Not me.
Well, you know how.
If you showed that statue to anyone in the hood, they'd have been like, no, absolutely not.
Oh, hell no.
$10 million
Wow.
were used to create that homage to my legendary family members, one of the all-time great American families. Seneca told the New York Post that woke culture allowed the expensive abstract experiment to come to fruition. You know what it is? It's just dreadful.
Right.
It's just lousy. It's a
Well,
shame.
plus,
and
people
it
don't
just-
understand how bad it was and kind of the butterfly effect. It made people kind of lose it.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan.
All right.
Sounds like me on December 23rd singing Birthday to Myself.
Boys, would you entertain us with another song, please?
Yay!
John and Dylan Height and Stephen C. Anderson. This would be just like Prairie Home Companion, except black people listen to Garage Logic.
That's a good point. Wait.
I remember making powder milk biscuits with Stephen C. as
Hey,
Kenny
Stephen C., have you ever
slipped
played for
off the
Garrison?
lake.
No,
Okay, thank you.
Would you?
perhaps.
Yes, right. Hey, be
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
I would love to have Steve to have Garrison as a guest. I still cling to the idea that would make a fun hour and a half of conversation.
Will you apologize for going through his garage?
I did not ever go through his
No,
garage.
I think efforts should continue
I think they
to
should.
get him on because you know what?
I agree.
He's very
He's
up
an
and-
interesting guy.
Sometimes when I see him, I'll remind him that I'm Red's grandson,
Right.
and it's a pleasant conversation.
Right.
And then other times I'll say, my grandpa Red played with you and Butch Thompson and Bill Evans.
Yep.
And he'll look at me like the moon was a plate of spaghetti.
Put the bag over by the door.
Right. He's not mean. It's just there's
Right.
something going on. But I think you should continue to try to get him on the air.
The John Height News Band. Fantastic. Not just a newsman. But before John does the news, what time is it?
11. Time for you to get a watch.
Everybody here, do you think you're taxed enough?
Not according to the governor.
Do you think some of the surplus should be given back to us?
A lot of Olivets. A lot of Olivets.
Are you ready for this?
No.
Oh, but you're going to hear it.
What do you want, Family Feud over here?
This week, hate to do this to you. You're all in a good mood. You just came over from 30 bales.
No, you don't.
A lot of people are half in the bag.
Oh, wow.
Hi, I'm Kenny.
This week, Minnesota Democrats who control the state legislature will start advancing their proposal that guarantees all workers with paid time off if they or a loved one need medical care. Okay. I just read that paragraph. The bill, scheduled for its first committee hearing tomorrow, would give workers up to 12 weeks of paid medical leave and 12 more weeks of paid family leave, funded by the state budget surplus and a new tax.
Yeah, that's like you said, that's how they're going to sustain it.
State economic development officials estimate that 1 in 4 Minnesota workers have similar benefits now. We have the ability to fix that, and we will. House Speaker Melissa Hortman, DFL Brooklyn Park, told reporters earlier this month, this will happen this year, she said. Governor Walz intends to put paid leave in his budget plan due Jan 24. That's coming up shortly, isn't it? He and lawmakers have called for spending $1.7 billion from the $18 billion budget surplus to seed the program, allowing the benefits to start in 2025 or 2026.
This is going to be like COVID, where one person's going to get sick, and they're all going to say, I've got to go.
After that, a 0.7% payroll tax would sustain the system. Last week, Democrats revealed they were increasing the new tax, which they had initially set as 0.6%. The tax likely would be split between employers and employees. For a worker making $50,000 a year, the tax would be $175 for that worker and his or her employer. A way to think about this is, phase one is to build the ship. This sounds like Denny Green.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
you read my mind.
The way to think about it is, phase one is to build the ship. Phase two is to drive the ship. Got to drive the ship with these payroll taxes to fuel it, said Steve Grove, the state's economic. This is why I moved to Miami. Miami.
No, Miami. Wow.
Wyoming, I meant. Wyoming does not have an individual income tax. Where was I?
Wyoming or Miami, I'm not sure. Halfway between.
Right.
Phase two is to drive the ship.
Who's going to drive the ship?
A spokesman for the State Employment and Economic Development Department did not immediately have figures of how much revenue the increased tax would raise. Minnesota will join 11 other states that already offer government-run paid family and medical leave benefits. I don't want to deprive any child of the care of his or her mother, and I think we could work this out.
Okay, but
not with another new tax.
Right, honest people will not take advantage of it.
Honest people will. I mean, again, it's my job to make sure the ship is being ruddered the right way.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So
it was like Denny Green, wasn't it?
It was.
He's going to need a whole new cabinet division for this. How many employees is it going to take
Good
to run
point,
this?
Kenny. Good point.
Republicans and business groups, including the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce and the National Federation of Independent Business, oppose the paid leave proposal. They've raised concerns about higher taxes, pointing to the DFL's decision to increase the proposed tax. They did this, that isn't even a law yet, they've already increased it from 0.6% to 0.7%. Before it's even passed a single committee. The new payroll tax is already increased by 16%, said John Reynolds, NFIB, National Federation of Independent Business, Minnesota State Director. The business groups also said that 24 weeks a year of combined benefits was too rich and would deepen Minnesota's worker shortage. The state has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country. Businesses could opt out of the state program for a fee.
Oh, we got you right here.
They'll get you one
We
way
got
or the
you
other.
right here. Yep.
They're gonna
Guess
get
what I'm
you
holding?
One way or the other.
Guess what I'm holding?
Did you say 24 weeks?
Yes. Well, when the 12 for family leave and the 12 for medical.
I thought my math says there's 52 in a year.
Time out.
Yeah,
That's almost half the year.
that's right.
There you go.
What a good plan.
Accounting major?
Wait a minute.
Mankato State?
How does one acquire the?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to acquire it. You don't want a sick family member.
You don't.
Are you done?
No, I'm trying to
I
find
have a question.
who I'm trying to quote.
You haven't
here.
read the cut line yet.
No.
You finish up, and then I'm going to ask
Oh,
my
I'm
question.
done with it. I can't. I'm moving. I moved to Wyoming.
Before the show yesterday, and again this afternoon, and then again in the green room, you promised taxes would not come up this
That's
evening.
an excellent point.
I did.
Excellent
I
point.
did, but I can explain.
Let me.
This ought to be
Here,
good.
he's going to spin it. Here we
Let
go.
me explain this to you.
Spin it.
All right.
This audience appreciated hearing that news.
Oh, you're a bunch of sycophants is what you
I
are.
knew he was going to say that.
Tepid applause at best, Joe.
How about this? How about this? Here's John Haidt in
Oh.
the newsroom.
Segue.
Oh,
Good save. Good save.
I have something about them spending more money. I don't know if that probably won't make everybody happy either.
No,
Yeah,
but
but you didn't make a promise.
It's part of
That's
the
a
news.
good point. Governor Walz revealing some budget plans this morning, and this one, Kenny, I think does call for a new department. So
Good. Let's hire some people.
the DFL governor plans to increase education spending by $2.2 billion. That's with a B. dollars over the next 4 years and create a new state agency centered on children, youth, and families. He revealed a $12 billion portion of his budget ahead of the full announcement next week. Walz has to negotiate with leaders of the Democratic-controlled House and Senate, so, that's probably not going to be too tough to do, I would guess. He proposed expanding the state's child and dependent care tax credit, which his administration said would help about 100,000 households with child care costs. Families that earn less than $200,000 could get up to $4,000 if they have one child, $8,000 for 2 children, and $10,500 if they have 3 kids. He's also pushing for a child tax credit for lower-income Minnesotans, which would give families $1,000 per child, up to $3,000.
Look up $13,000 in 1960.
Is there an age limit
Is
on
what
these
it is
kids?
today.
Yeah.
My
What it
kid's
is today.
23.
Too late, I think.
Okay.
Too late. Now, here's the part you'll like, Kenny. The agency Walz proposed, called the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, would take over the work of some currently handled by other agencies,
Okay.
including early learning programs, child support, and food assistance programs.
According to dollartimes.com, $13,000 in 1968 is the equivalent in purchasing power to about $110,872 today.
Shut your mouth.
I said 1960, not
Really?
68.
Okay.
We had 7 kids. My mother didn't work, and the old man made $13,000. How in the hell did she do it?
Well, you lived in a sod hut.
That's true.
According to dollartimes.com,
Yep.
$13,000 in 1960 is equivalent in the purchasing power to about $130,350 today.
Well, he was doing all right.
Was the equivalent to what?
130, so 10 times worth.
Yeah, we had a good life. What the hell?
Andy threw the medicine ball at the St. Paul Athletic Club.
Yes, he did. No, he didn't. He was a squash player.
Oh.
Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning?
Huh?
Is it my time limit? Right?
Yes,
Time limit?
yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Strategery.
Children's do learns.
All of this apparently harkens back, I don't recall this, to the 1995 creation of a Children, Families, and Learning Department under Governor Arnie Carlson,
The learning department.
who merged the work of various agencies with a similar goal of addressing the needs of the total child. But 8 years after that, Governor Tim Pawlenty renamed it the Department of Education, and what he described at the time as an effort to get back to the core mission of educating children.
Do you remember what we called that department in 1995?
Your microphone's
Department of
off.
Children, Learning, and Happy Thoughts.
As yesterday's positive report card shows, children do learn.
That's right.
Joe,
Does Arnie seem like he's getting more liberal in his later years?
He's been getting that.
Yeah,
way.
he was always.
Do you know what
fairly
Arnie did?
liberal.
I have this on very good authority. I won't tell you from whom.
Did he have the pump up unit, or was that the other husband?
That was Barbara Carlson's Pete. That was Pete.
Yeah.
Wow. God.
Wow.
Maybe that's what they made that statue in Boston about.
One of them had the pump up deal, like a bicycle.
That
pump.
was Pete. Yeah, Pete had that going, and then Pete was going
Sure.
across the hall to can apricots with the neighbor, and that's how that.
I'm glad.
That eventually killed him too, didn't it?
I think so.
How would you like a hose hooked up to you with an air tank?
He unfortunately he overpumped.
I'd try it once.
He did overpump.
He overpumped.
Did he
yes.
blow up?
I think so.
It's like a bike tire.
So to speak.
Yeah.
That wasn't my reason.
Keep going. There's more.
For bringing up Arnie. No. What Arnie Carlson did when he left office is he took away the gubernatorial pension for future governors. But guess what Arnie took? The last pension
one. Yep.
for the gubernatorial governors.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So your
You
guys
mean
not
Jesse's
getting one?
not getting one?
How do you think I found out?
Whoops.
So Walls is only down to about 3 or 4 pensions now when he's done being governor.
I'm sure he'll be well cared for, and they do get something. But the gubernatorial pension that was in place at the time,
I did not know
Arnie said, "I'm taking it, and no more future."
Wow. Huh.
All right, here we go, Johnny.
A story you hinted at earlier, Joe. University of St. Thomas officials this morning announcing a $75 million gift will be used to build a hockey and basketball arena. It's also expected to be used for commencement ceremonies, speakers, career fairs, and other events. They expect to break ground in 2024, and it could open in late 2025. According to the university, the donation came from Lee and Penny Anderson, Naples, Florida, both of whom are benefactors of the school.
Don't forget also the activity that you did not include there is the late night, Sunday night, grown men, I used to play hockey, but I'm going to get shit-faced and play hockey game.
Yeah.
Lee Anderson
About 9 p.m. on a
Yes,
Sunday.
yes.
Yeah.
owns, I believe, I'm accurate in saying this, the finest collection of antique motorboats in the world.
Who would disagree with that?
I couldn't find anyone to disagree.
Somebody up in
His
Brainerd
buddy
area.
John Allen's his rival. They have a friendly
Right,
rival who
right.
can have the best boats. But
Have you
two
ever
of, the
been
two of the finest collections of antique boats in the world are at about 5 miles apart at Gull Lake.
What's a car story? One of those guys own what Princess Diana's car?
No,
some
well,
damn thing.
they got, they had
James Bond's
he's
car.
got a car that the Queen rode in England, but Lee and Penny just won Concours d'Elegance at Pebble Beach in 2022.
What's that mean?
That means best of show at Pebble Beach.
Oh.
All right.
Has anybody in this auditorium, other than me, been invited into John Allen's garage
I have.
to sip whiskey
I haven't.
and look at his collection?
Yeah.
I don't believe
Hey
it.
now.
I don't believe
sorry.
it. Have you?
John, continue, please.
We got a big summit of world leaders in Switzerland that started yesterday. You know who else goes to those summits beside world leaders?
Huh.
Members of the world's oldest profession.
Whoa.
Prostitution.
Lawyers?
Demand for same difference. Demand for sex work skyrockets each year at the meeting of world leaders and business tycoons who
Imagine that.
jet in from all around the world to rub shoulders with each other. Escorts.
It's like
I
that
didn't mean it
sculpture of
that
MLK.
way, but-
Yeah, you got to rub shoulders to get
Rub
her done.
shoulders.
Whatever it takes. You know?
Escorts are booked into the same hotels as the high-powered bosses and their employees during the 5-day summit. One sex worker named Liana said she dresses in business attire so she doesn't stand out among the
Oh,
executives.
she's the naughty librarian.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we know Joe's fantasies
There it
now.
is. He's letting you in. Letting
Yeah.
you in, I guess. huh?
That's why you took all those paper clippings.
She's the naughty hedge fund manager.
Yeah, there we go.
You've librarians come up frequently.
Yeah.
with
They
you.
do, yeah.
Do you want to talk?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Something about the source of the mystery.
No. Well, they were foot soldiers in the mystery.
No, that's what he likes.
Ooh.
Come on, I got to go to Wyoming. Let's
Joe,
go
we're all
here.
here
Yeah,
for
no.
you.
Leanna told Bild newspaper she regularly sees an American who visits Switzerland multiple times a year and is among the 2,700 conference attendees. It works out for Leanna. She gets $760 for an hour.
I bet it's John Kerry.
$2,500 for the whole night.
Wow.
Manager of one escort.
How much for the whole night?
$2,500.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
What does Guido get?
I don't know.
In 2020, an investigation by the Times found at least 100 prostitutes traveled to that area for the summit, according to Swiss police.
Do they fly in on private planes too, like the rest of these phonies?
I'm sure they do. Yeah, probably.
I've never been with a prostitute. What's it like, Reavers?
A lot of instruction.
The fastest Corvette.
Son of a bitch. Hold on.
That's nothing. Rook got an elevator once at the annual Hubbard Christmas party with Dave
Oh, my
Dahl.
God.
And said, "Hey, Dave, how'd the test come back?"
You got those crabs, or we got them all cleared up now?
God.
Dave was as red as the red on that Garage Logic sign. Just had zero comeback, and it was thrilling.
The fastest Corvette ever made comes out later this year, and it's not a gas car.
Boo,
It's a gas-electric hybrid.
Oh, please.
The first all-wheel version of Chevrolet's storied sports car, aimed at affluent buyers. It'll top out at about $104,000. It's called the E-Ray. It goes from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Wow. You wouldn't want to experience that?
No. Well, I would drive it, sure, but I don't want to own it.
General Motors
Kind of
says...
like prostitution.
Yeah.
What are you going to
Wow.
I'm out of this conversation. Sit down, you
Thank
mutt.
you. Thank you.
Oh,
God, it's amazing I can get a show
if
done.
I...
That's a shot to go. Reavers unassisted on that one.
If I had a hat, Chris, I'd tip it to you.
Thank
That
you.
was a great
Thank
line.
you.
That Corvette, John, what's the top speed?
Top speed, let's see. It's not here, Kenny. I'm sorry.
What the?
Sorry, Kenny. Now I feel bad.
I'll look it up.
I don't want one. I want a gas-powered.
What's it called, Johnny?
It can cover a quarter mile in 10.5 seconds. Does that help any?
That's respectable.
That's fast.
That's decent, is what that is.
Decent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, more electric car stories. The Wall Street Journal reporting the electric vehicle sales crossed a global milestone last year, achieving around 10% market share.
Oh, they're government cars.
1 out of every 10. It's hard to believe. But most of that, by the way, is because of strong growth in
Hold
China.
it. Quiet. Quiet the room. Clap if you have an EV.
Are you? Come on.
God, I love GLers.
Somebody does.
There's a couple.
I heard a couple claps.
There's a couple.
Do it again. Do it again. Clap if you have an EV. What the hell are you doing here?
Is it a hybrid though? Does it also run on gasoline?
Oh, then you're all right. You're all right.
Isn't that Ingy? Oh.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Johnny, this was called the E-Ray, you said?
The E-Ray, yes.
The top speed, according to Car and Driver, is 180 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's not so great.
Well, you don't really need to go that fast, Kenny.
Well, sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Most of the new sales of the 1 out of 10, by the way, are in China and Europe.
That is like a total vociferous 6.2 liter V8 that powers the rear wheels to join the party, man.
What?
Let's make this happen.
Stop. Just stop.
John, keep going.
What the hell was that?
Also has
No.
E-wheel drive.
No.
E-wheel drive, huh?
E-Ray. E-Ray.
Take it away, Chris.
All right.
E-Ray or Billy Ray?
One more electric car story, sort of follow up to something you had yesterday, Joe. In your new home state of Wyoming,
Yep.
I remember you said a group of Republican lawmakers, they introduced a bill urging the legislature to seek to phase out the sale of new electric vehicles by 2035.
Yep.
But now State Senator Jim Anderson, who introduced the bill, said he doesn't actually want electric vehicle sales to be phased out. He said, I don't have a problem with electric vehicles at all. He said anyone who wants to buy an electric vehicle should have the freedom to do so, adding he has friends and family members who own them.
Yep.
He said instead his resolution was motivated, and I think you hinted at this too, Joe, by California's move in August to proceed with a ban on sales of new vehicles powered only by
Well, he was
gas.
giving California the needle.
Exactly.
Well, my state will never demand that you buy an EV. My new state.
You want me to read that, Kenny? Is that what you're pointing?
You're leaving out. You're provoking him. You're trying to sabotage the whole GL mission here. Read that paragraph.
No, that's not what I was doing.
Read the paragraph.
Yes, sir. I have a problem, he said, quote, with somebody saying, don't buy any more petroleum vehicles, just to get the message out that we're not happy with the states that are outlawing our vehicles. Now, this is what you said yesterday. You had a problem with the
I do. I don't want anybody telling me what I can and
electric
My
or
state
gas.
is not going to do that.
There you go. I have an obscure musician death. I brought one even to a live broadcast.
All right.
Is that all right?
Yep.
This is one, everybody in this room who's listened to music in the last 60 years has heard this man play guitar.
All right.
His name was Dennis Budimir. He died last week at the age of 84. He was somewhat overshadowed by Jeff Beck's death. Budimir was a member of the Wrecking Crew.
Oh.
He also did thousands of other sessions as a studio guitarist in the late 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm going to give you a small list who he worked with. You ready?
Yep.
Records by The Carpenters, Brian Wilson, Barbra Streisand, Frank Zappa, Linda Ronstadt, Julie London, Dusty Springfield, Quincy Jones, Marty Page, Don Ellis, Gil Melly, Tom Waits, Harry Nilsson, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Johnny Mathis, Cher, Joni Mitchell, The Monkees, Barry Manilow.
All right.
That's just a very
That's
small.
where I remember him from.
That's a partial list.
That's a very small sampling of who he played with. He was also a lover of jazz and played on records by the likes of Ella Fitzgerald, Milt Jackson, Stan Getz, Jimmy Smith, and many more.
Save that story. Give it to Dylan. Did you just hear that, Dylan? You heard that, right? Yeah. Okay.
Why?
Because that's important. That somebody like him. That's Dylan.
Oh, okay.
That could be his gig.
Because the guy's dead?
No.
He's going to take his place, apparently, huh?
Can't live on your parents' couch forever, Dylan.
Did you see where the guy?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Did you see where the guy who wore the Jesus Saves T-shirt to the Mall of America is now was the headline in the Daily Mail today?
I did see that.
It's going
yeah.
around the world. People wonder what's going on there in Minnesota. That's what they're wondering.
And you don't care because you're in Wyoming.
I live in
Yeah,
Wyoming.
that's right. Yeah.
What city?
Near Casper.
Rib City.
Near Casper.
Spaghetti City.
Yeah, Spaghetti City. You got it.
A trio of men from New York are behind bars after police said they tried to hide 83 pounds of marijuana behind a dumpster.
There you go.
Why would they do that? Well, one of the three called 911.
Ooh.
This is a Kenny thing, I think.
Accidentally.
State troopers out of Bedford responded to a 911 hang-up call at the Marathon gas station
morons.
on Lincoln Highway in Breezewood. One of the men, later discovered to be 30-year-old Sakwe Wang of Flushing, New York, allegedly called 911, said there were people in his car with marijuana. He wanted them to get out. They refused. Well, the troopers got there. They said two other men, both from Flushing, were seen standing near duffel bags in the parking lot in the duffel bags.
I'm seeing Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
We have their names?
We do. It's 29-year-old Jiaming Yang and 29-year-old Dahu Yu.
So you got Yang, Wang, and you. Right?
You do.
Sounds like that prostitute over in the...
Yeah.
That's the name of my next band, Wang Yang and Yu. Troopers said they found 5 trash bags hidden behind a dumpster, 83 pounds of marijuana, estimated street value of more than $300,000. Yang, the driver who contacted and agreed to meet with troopers at their barracks in Bedford after reportedly getting conflicting stories from all 3 men, they got a search warrant. Not only did they have the 83 pounds, they had $120,000 in counterfeit money.
John, what else do you got?
Duffel bags.
What else do you got?
You didn't like that one, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I like the
John's getting
names.
the hook.
I want more music. Who wants more music?
Yeah.
Yeah,
music.
we want more music.
Here's my last
I
story.
know.
Here's my last story.
All right.
He
It's
says,
a blank
"I know."
piece of paper. All right, let's get the band out. John Haidt News Experience.
Okay.
Take our final break. Don't leave. Ross is going to give you really great presents.
Oh, that's
prizes, not presents.
Right.
Presents kind of presupposes gift wrapping and a bow. And,
We will be announcing the winners at the end of the show here.
yeah.
You know what we should also mention, though?
What's that?
Before we go to the break, for all non-town council members in attendance tonight, Your first month at the Garage Logic Town Council is going to be free when you use the promo code 1000 at garagelogic.com when signing up for a monthly subscription. Again, that's promo code 1000 with no comma at garagelogic.com. And at the conclusion of today's Garage Logic 1000 podcast, stick around as, again, we're going to have some giveaways we'd like to give at random to some of the lucky winners in the crowd. And I went down to my own basement and found some stuff that was... So if you can withstand the smell, the prize is going to be yours.
Hey, you guys, do you think, now we're calling this 1,000. Should we just stick with that and call tomorrow 1001? All right, that's what we'll do.
The GLers have ruled.
Yeah, we missed a few in there, but that's all right.
Because a couple of those really stunk, those shows, so we want to delete them from the system and start.
Or should we stop numbering them altogether?
No, I like numbering.
We got a number.
I'm very busy with that. Right, play office.
It gives Gramps, Papa Joe something to do.
Yeah, but you know what you've done because of the numbering. Fratelloni, are you still here? Now he's numbering our show.
Well, that's good. It's
because of
it's
you.
a good way to go.
Well, I got news for you. You ain't going to make it to 1,000.
Not
okay?
a chance in hell.
Here's John Heights Band, the news band with Stephen C. and Dylan. Wonderful boy. Can you? Hey, we gotta keep going. Thank you, boys. Thank you very much. This is, I'm going to save something till tomorrow.
Oh, thank God. Do you have anything left?
It's too festive for, it's not festive enough for today. You thought I forgot, didn't you? Only.
Oh, my God.
Of course not.
Only.
Guy opened up a barber shop in Wyzetta.
Only because they come to us.
Faribault.
All the way from where? What an audience.
Yeah.
Man.
What an audience.
You've got
That
him
sounded
trained.
like Joe Biden singing Happy Birthday. That's what I thought.
The traveling linemen. This is a biggie. There's only one today, but it's a big one. On this day,
January 17th.
17th.
On this day in 1934, banker Edward G. Bremer was kidnapped at the corner of Goodrich and Lexington in St. Paul. On Feb 7, after his family paid a $200,000 ransom. Now, that is a lot of money for 1934. Wow.
Do you know how you always...
I'm not done with this. Bremer was freed in Rochester. Bremer's remarkable memory led investigators to the kidnappers, the Barker Karpus Gang, the members of which would all be caught or killed by 1936.
That's Ma Barker, right?
Yeah.
Alvin Karpus, Ma Barker.
And her kids, yeah.
Yeah, and they lived out in Matamidi for a while. Did you know that?
Wow. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Where?
Up on Maine.
Out there.
Up on Maine.
Up on Maine.
Up on Maine.
Did you
there.
play with them when you were kids?
I didn't know him at that age, Kenny. I'm not that far gone yet, but damn close.
Do you know how you always give your child the needle?
Yes.
Do you
That's
think,
what they're there for.
Okay, do you think Bremer, when the kid's in 6th grade and he gets in trouble and he says, you cost me $2 million to get you back, and now you're acting like this, and you get a D on your report card.
GLers.
I would have done that.
Ross is
Gabe,
coming
what the
out.
hell's wrong with you, Gabe?
Ross is coming out. You're going to get, don't leave.
Hold on.
You're going to get great.
We got announcements here. Are you done with your?
This is like you are the priest. Father Doug, you here?
I know how to land the plane.
Father Doug is right here, but this is like when Father Doug gets to say, like, okay, we're all done. Go in peace and love and serve the Lord. And then there's always announcements.
Yeah.
Like next week is Donut Sunday. Here come the announcements for
What are
Garage
the
Logic.
announcements, Reavers?
The announcements, Joe, are the following. Thank you for the
following.
You know what's a great thing to have, too?
What's that, Rook?
Saturday night mass in the bank.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Joe's loading up the bag.
You know what's a
already.
great thing to have? You'd shut up for a minute.
Yeah, I'm ready to walk out here. Let's go.
59, 58.
I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of you for coming to the show today.
Thank you.
Couple of reminders here. We are going to go back to 30 Bales Restaurant after the broadcast here today, so you're all welcome to join. I know a lot of you are just dying to hang out with me, so we are going to go back to 30 Bales Restaurant. Also, Ross and AJ are coming out here, and we did have a credit card show up from someone in the audience. If your first name is Jennifer, come up here and let me know what your last name is, and we'll get you your credit card back.
Suchere?
Nope. No, that one we're keeping. That one
we're not getting back.
Use that one for content.
Also, we do only have this space.
That's legit, though.
We do only have this space until 9 o'clock. So if you want to mingle for a little bit, that's fine. But we have to be out of here by 9 o'clock.
And I got to go to Wyoming.
How far of a flight is that?
That takes about 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Fly
Okay.
into Jackson Hole.
Yeah, close to Casper there. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to find right now is.
Thank you, GLers. Really thank you for your patience and your loyalty. It's great seeing you, and I really love it. I tried to do a podcast. I get overwhelmed with these morons, but we'll be back to some normal conditions.
So do we.
That's right.
Are we working tomorrow?
Yes.
You didn't pay a dime to get in here. Do you think you got your money's worth? Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Reavers, play the music. Let's go.
That's why I was trying to stall, because actually what I was trying to do, you guys have been with us for a while. Hang on, Kenny. I'm going to get
Who are you
there.
talking to, the staff or the people?
So I wanted to kind of give a glimpse of what we were at one point and what we've become today. If this would cooperate with me, because I have the very first attempt that we did a podcast, and I knew this was going to happen. It's not loading for me.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
It's always great when you have a nice bit ready and it doesn't work.
We're kind of used to this, though, aren't we?
We are very used to
Then
this.
let's just leave it at this. It was a hell of a lot worse than tonight.
Yeah, it really was.
really was, just to be totally honest.
We were an airplane going down the runway while it was still being built.
However,
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to play.
We missed the boat on having actual cameras. To see the look on your face as to 4 or 5 times he inquired in the first minute and a half, are we on? I don't hear anything. There's no ABC News. There's no 1500 ESPN News.
Thank you, GL.
He's a man of.
Let's go. He's getting his coat
Kenny,
on
help
now.
me with my
to,
shawl.
Don't we have to give away stuff? What
Ross, are we
happened to
doing that during the show, or are we doing that when we're done? We're going to do that when we're done.
Did you ever see the video of the drunk Russian guy on a mining camp or some sort of camp?
It was a beach?
Really hammered, and he's trying to put on his coat, but he's trying to put his pants on.
I do remember
Oh,
that.
Yeah, you just gave us
fabulous.
You just gave us a great impersonation.
That's
of
right.
it
I was
just
trying
now.
to do it there. Thank you, GLers. I love you, and I appreciate you, and we'll continue to do this.
As we close out the podcast, as we normally do, a great place to land to look
Thanks
for
to
other
the
podcasts.
musicians, too. Thanks to the musicians.
Stephen
C.
C.,
Dylan
Dylan
Height,
Height,
John Height.
Johnny Height. Thanks, Kenny.
Hey, it's just like a normal day. Kenny left early.
Yeah, he's already gone.
That's what he does.
He's already gone. It is what he does.
Wait. Guess what I found?
Uh-oh.
You forgot to
Hello,
hit
everybody.
record.
No.
Hello, everybody.
yet.
No, stop practicing.
They won't.
Jack and Lori.
Been doing this 100 years. Act like it.
Did it start?
Wait, go, hit play.
Where's John at?
I'm not ready yet.
We'll start without
we
him.
were so bad.
I'm not ready yet.
Are you rolling?
No, not yet.
So all of this crap is going to be on the podcast.
No, they'll edit all that out.
Brooke, hit the button.
Just start the music, you dummy. If you'd get here 2 minutes before noon, this wouldn't happen.
Well, he's on limited hours.
Hey, let's talk about that right away. I
No, I don't want to talk about
No,
that.
I want to establish that I have a 6-day weekend. I
Right.
want to make sure we cover that.
I got to tell you a Kenny story.
Oh, wait.
I don't know if I'm on the air.
No, we're not. The dummy's not. Wait for
Show
the
number one.
Oh my God, we came a long way, haven't we, boss?
I think so. All right, see you later.
Thank you to 30 Bales, and thank you to the Hopkins Performing Arts Center for having us. Thanks, GLers. We really appreciate you coming out today.
Don't go anywhere yet.
All right. Ready, Roscoe?